Hi. So today's topic of discussion would be percentages. So I will like to first discuss the scope of this topic, like what all concepts we will be covering and what all things we will be doing in this topic. So we will first cover the basic concepts like what are percentages, the concept of base, percentage increase, decrease, change of base, multiplying factor. So this all will cover all the major concepts related to percentages. And along with this concept, we will discuss certain examples which are related to this concept. And post that, we will then move to the practice exercise with practice exercise level 1, level 2, and level 3, which will help us to better understand this concept. And we will try to solve more sums based on this concept. So without any further delay, we'll start the session now. So the first question which should come to our mind, like what are percentages? So the word percentages literally means 100 for every 100. Therefore, whenever we calculate something as a part of 100, this part is numerically termed as percentage. Now to simplify this, percentages means value out of 100. So if I say 20, and if I have to represent it in terms of percentages, and I will do value out of 100 means 20 out of 100 will give me point 0.2, will give me point 0.2. And if I have to express into percentages, I will multiply this point 0.2 by 100, will give me 20 percentage. Similarly, if I have to get my 50 out of 100, then I will multiply it by 100, then I will get it as 50 percentages. And similarly, if I have to calculate the value of if I have to calculate my percentages, when my total value is 200, and I have to calculate my percentages, which means that it is nothing but value out of 100. I will multiply with 100, and I will get this as 25 percentages. I hope this part is clear. Now another thing which comes is fractions, ratio, and percentage. So when we say that x percentage is nothing but a fraction of x and denominator 100, identifying certain values in the reduced form of fractions can be very useful. Example, when we have to calculate 20 percentage, we can calculate 20 by 100, that is 1 by 4. So what does this statement tells us? That percentage is nothing but if you tell about x percentage, then x percentage is nothing but x out of 100, where x will be in your numerator and in your denominator there will be 100. So as discussed in the previous example, if you consider as the value 20, you have to find the percentage, you will divide it by 100. This represents your 20 percentage. Now if you want to convert this into the form of fraction, what you will do, you will bring it to its simplified form, which is 20 ones are and 20 fives are. So 1 by 5 also gives your value 20%. That is 1 by 5 into 100 will give you 20 percentage. So from here, we observe one important thing, that fractions and percentages go hand in hand. What do I mean by this statement? Like when you consider the fraction 1 by 2, you multiply by 100, the percentage you are getting is 50 percentage. When you consider the fraction 1 by 3, you multiply by 100, you get the percentages 33.33 percentage. When you consider the fraction 1 by 4, you multiply by 100, you get the value as 25 percentage. Similarly, when you consider 1 by 5, you multiply by 100, you will get 20 percentage. For 1 by 6, you will get 16.66 percentage. For 1 by 7, you will get 14.28 percentage. For 1 by 8, you will get 12.5 percentage. For 1 by 9, you will get 11.11 percentage, and 1 by 10, you will get 10 percentage. 1 by 11, you will get 9.09 percentage. Similarly, for 1 by 12, 8.33. 1 by 13, 7.69. 1 by 14, 7.1. Similarly, you will calculate for 1 by 15. Now, uh, for 1 by 16 also, and similarly, you can calculate for all of the values. But if you ask me, like, how can I calculate for the values like 1 by 12? It is such a big number. And while in the exam, if I do, I will waste my time with that. So, what you can do? You can consider 1 by 3 and 1 by 4 as 1 by 12. 1 by 3 you know is 33.33, and 1 by 4 you know is 25. So then you can multiply and get the value for that. Okay. So with that also you can calculate this 25 to 33 you calculate. So 25, 33, 75, 0, 75. So it will be 5, 3, 8, something close to 83.5%. And when you represent in terms of decimals, it will be somewhere over, it will be somewhere over, the second guys, 0.835. So somewhere close to 8.3 percentage you will get. So in that way also you can calculate the value of a bigger number. Similarly, if you want to calculate 1 by 15, you will do 1 by 5 into 1 by b. For 1 by 16, either you can do 1 by 4 into 1 by 4, or 1 by 8 into 1 by 2. Okay. Now, what benefit you will get uh, by solving for the fractions, or for the fractions into percentage, is that it will make your calculations easier. You would be better. You would be able to better consume your time in getting towards the logic and not towards wasting your time in solving the sum. So in that way, fractions will be much more helpful for you. And I would honestly suggest you to please remember the fractions and the percentage form from 1 by 2 to 1 by 20. So in the exam, it will help you that you already remember the values for this. So you don't have to calculate the values again and again. So it's my humble request to please work on it. Write all these values in a piece of paper and remember these values from 1 till 1 by 20. Now, what advantage you will get if you are able to remember this value? So let's say in the exam you get a question in which you have to solve for the value of 2 by 3. So you know 1 by 3 is 33.33 percentage. So 2 by 3 will be 66.66 percentage. Similarly, if they ask you for 3 by 8, you know 1 by 8 is 12.5. Then 3 by 8 will be 12.5 multiplied by 3, which will give you 37.5%. Okay, so that benefit you will get. So by remembering this 20 values, you would be able to solve much more than the values which you might get in the exam. So please work on it. Take a piece of paper, write all the values, and keep looking at these values. So eventually you will remember the value over the period of time. I hope this is clear. And with that also, you can see that in this table you have provided 2 by 3 is 66.66, 3 by 4 75, which is 1 by 4 into 3. 1 by 4 is 25, 25 into 3 is 75. 1 by 6 is 16.66, which is multiplied by 5 will give you 5 by 6, which is 18.33. 1 by 8, 12.5 multiplied by 3 will give you 37.5. 1 by 8 is 12.5, and you multiply by 5, you will get 62. Similarly, you can calculate for 7 by 8. I hope this is clear. Now, there is another important concept, is the concept of base. Now, what do I mean by the concept of base? So, let's say we'll consider an example which is given on the screen. So, we say that suppose Team India wins 60% of the matches it plays. Okay, Team India wins 60% of the matches it plays. So does it mean that Team India wins only 60 matches? Can I say that if it is saying that Team India wins 60% of the matches, then India is winning only 60 matches? Can I say that? No, I cannot say that. Why? Because I am not aware like this 60% is of what value? Is of what value? This off word is very important. This will help you to determine the base of your sum, a base of your percentage. Okay. So this 60 percentage is of what value? First I have to find out. Let's say if in a year, Team India is playing 200 matches, is playing 200 matches. And I'm saying that India is winning 60% of the matches. Then this 60 percentage is of the value 200. That will be 60 by 100 into 200, which means 120. So Team India is winning 120 matches. If the total match they played is, let's say, 100, then you can say then Team India is winning 60 by 100 of 100, that is 60 matches. Hence, the base is very important, guys. Hence, the base is very important. So, whenever you solve a question, please look at the base, like what is the base, and then calculate your percentages. And on the basis of that, you will be able to arrive at your answer. I hope this part is also clear. Now, we will talk about percentage increase and decrease. Okay. So, you first consider this value. Let's say you have a pocket money. You receive a pocket money. P. P. Okay, this is the amount you are receiving. Now, if I say that your pocket money, which you are receiving P, it will get increased by 20 percentage next. This month you are getting the amount P. Next month you will get 20 percentage more than what you are getting. So how much amount you will get next month? Next month how much amount you will get? So consider this. Your value, your money value is increasing by 20 percentage next month. This 20 percentage is of what value? Is of what value? This 20 percentage is of value P. So what will be that? 20 by 100 of P, which I can write it as 0.2 P. Now, is your answer 0.2 P? I am saying that your pocket money is P. Next month it is increasing by 20 percentage. So this 0.2 P is less than P. So is your final answer 0.2 P? No. What then will be your final answer? Initially you are receiving P. Afterwards your value increases by how much? 0.2 P. So the final value which you are receiving will be 1.2. I hope you understood how to solve this or how to solve for percentage increase. So we'll solve with one or two more example to get this understanding better. Now let's say you have pocket money P, it is increasing by 30 percentage next month. So then the final value will be P plus 30 percentage of P. So it will be 1.3 of P. Similarly, if I say that your pocket money was P, it is increasing now by 25 percentage. So it will be P plus 25 by 100 of P. So it is 1.25 of P. And this we have discussed for percentage increase. Now let's say if I say that your pocket money which was P from the next month, it will decrease by 20%. Will decrease by 20 percentage. Then what is the final amount you will receive? Then what is the final amount you will receive? So your initial pocket money was P. Now your value is decreasing by 20%. This 20% is of what value? This 20% is of your pocket money P, which is 20 by 100 of P, which is 0.2 P. Now it is decreasing by, so P is which was your initial value, and decrease means minus, and zero point 0.2 of P will give you zero point 0.8 of P. So this will be your final value. We will also solve for one or two sums. We'll solve for also for one or two more examples so that it will be better for you. So let's say initial value was P. It is decreasing by 30%. So what will be your final value? P minus 30 by 100 of P, which is 70 by 100 of P, which is zero point 0.7 P. Similarly, if you talk about if the initial value is P and now it is decreasing by 25%. So what will be your final value? P minus 25 by 100 of P, which is 75 by 100 of P, or you can write it as 0.75 P. So this is what we have discussed for the topic percentage increase and decrease. Now there is one important thing in this topic which you just pay close attention over here. You know this is 1.2p. How you can write in terms of fraction 120 by 100 of p. Now you bring this fraction into its simplest form, which will be 6 by 5. So the final value will be 6 by 5 of p. So there can be also a need in the question where you have to solve the sum by taking it into its fraction form. Hence, it is also important for you to understand how to bring this decimal form into its fraction form. Okay, if you talk about this, it will be 130 by 100. It will be 13 by 10p. For this part, it will be 125 by 100 of p, which is 5 by 4 of p. I hope this part is clear. And when we talk about the percentage decrease, so I will just make some space over here. So as we have zero point 0.8 of p, we can write it as 88 by 10p, which is nothing but 4 by 5 of p. When I have 0.75 of p, I can write it as 75 by 100 of p, which is 3 by 4 of p. Now you observe one more important thing over here. This is your decrease, percentage decrease, and this is your percentage increase. Now whenever we talk about percentage increase, your numerator is greater than the denominator, which means your percentage increase, the value of the fraction is greater than 1. As your numerator is greater than your denominator, here also numerator is greater than the denominator. And when we talk about percentage decrease, your numerator is less than the denominator. Here also your numerator is less than the denominator. Hence, percentage decrease, your value of the fraction is less than 1. So this is also another observation which we have deduced out. Okay, so just make a note of it. Okay, so moving towards the next point. Now percentage increase and decrease in terms of a value. So let's say you initially have 1,000 rupees. Afterwards, which is in your month of, let's say, January, and in month of February your salary increased and you got a new salary. You got your salary increased to 1,200. So what is the percentage increase? This will be your February month salary will be your final value. Your January month salary will be your initial value. Correct? So you have to find the percentage increase, which is nothing but final value minus initial value divide by initial value into 100, which is 1200 minus 1000 by 100 into 100 by 1000 into 100, which is 200 by 1000 into 100. So it will be 20 percentage increase. And if we talk about percentage decrease, then let's say in the month of January, your salary was 1000, and in month of February, your salary is 800. So then you will apply the same formula, final value minus initial value divide by initial value into 100, which will be 800 minus 1000 divide by 1000 into 100. On solving it further, it will be minus 200 by 1000 into 100. So it is 20 percentage decrease, and this was 20 percentage increase. I hope this understanding is clear. Now, one more thing which I will like to bring your attention to, what we have discussed in the previous slide, that when we talk about the percentage increase, so let's say you are getting that number as 6 by 5, okay, 6 by 5 of P. So what can you say directly about this? That this value is greater than 1 by 5 of P. What does this mean? There was a P and there was a 1 by 5 addition to that. So this value is 1 by 5 more than P, more than P. And now to solve it directly, what you can do, you have to take the numerator and the denominator and subtract that. That's 6 minus 5 divided by 5, which is the final value. Consider this as the same formula, final value minus initial value divided by initial value into 100, which is 1 by 5. Hence, your fraction is 1 by 5 more than the P. So I hope you understood this part. Now, when we consider about the percentage decrease, which we take the example of, let's say 4 by 5, 4 by 5. In this, your numerator is less than the denominator. So this value we can say is less than 1 by 5 of P. How we can say that your final value or initial was P minus 1 by 5 of P. And to arrive it directly, what we can do? Your final value was 4 minus 5 divided by 5, which is minus of 1 by 5. And this value, 4 by 5, is 1 by 5 less than that of P. So I hope this understanding is also clear. That you have to do the same thing. Consider your numerator as your final value and your denominator as your initial value and solve it to get the percentage increase or the fraction increase or fraction decrease also, you can say. So I hope this understanding is also clear about what is percentage increase and decrease. So now we will solve certain examples and try to understand all the concepts which we have discussed. So before solving the sums, guys, I like to emphasize on a point like to please pause the video for 2 minutes, try this sum by yourself, and then come back to the solution because it is not going to make any sense if you are not trying the sum by yourself. Okay. So the first question is, what percentage of 240 is 150? Of 240. Of means this is talking about your base. I have already emphasized that the focus on the word of, that it will help you to determine your base. Your base is 240 and your numerator will be 150. So 150 This will be 5 this will be 8 So 5 by 8, we know 1 by 8 is how much? It's 12.5. So 5 by 8 will be around 62.5 percentage. Okay. So I hope this sum is clear. The next sum. The price of a clock imported from Singapore was 1200. So the price was 1200. Due to the devaluation of its of rupee, its value increased. So this was my initial price, and after increase, my final price is now 2100. I'm calling it as P dash. Then what is the percentage increase in the price of the clock due to the devaluation of rupee? So I have to find the percentage increase. That is final value minus initial value divide by initial value into 100, which is 2100 minus 1200 divide by 1200 into 100. So this will be 900 by 1200 into 100. Okay, so this will give you 3 by 4, which is 75 percentage. I hope this sum is also clear. If not, guys, then please pause the video, watch this question once more, and then move ahead with the next concept or the next example. Okay. So the salaries of Charu and Rohit. So Charu and Rohit is 20 by 21. By what percentage is Rohit's salary greater than that of Charu? So these are given in the form of ratio, and we have to find answer in terms of percentage only. So you can assume that the salary of Charu is 20 and the salary of Rohit is 21. So by what percentage is Rohit's salary greater than that of Charu? So your base will be Charu, and Rohit's salary is greater than that of Charu. That means R minus P. I will reiterate this part, that you will have to use the same formula as final value minus initial value divided by initial value. Okay. So you have to find that by what percentage is Rohit's salary greater than that of Charu. So in the final value, put Rohit's salary, which is 21. In the initial value, put Charu's salary, which is 20. And in the initial again, put Charu's salary because your base is of Charu. It will be 1 by 20 into 100, which is 5 percentage. I hope this sum is also clear. No doubts on this part. Oh, P's income is 70 percentage of Q's income, and Q's income is 50 percentage of R's income. And they have provided that if R income is 2 lakh, then what is P's income? Okay. So if we have provided with R income, we can calculate for Q, which is 50 percentage of 2 lakh, which is nothing but 1 lakh. Now, if Q is 1 lakh, you can calculate it for P, which is 70 by 100 into 1 lakh. So P equals to 70,000 rupees. So the income of P is 70,000. A very easy sum, guys. I hope all of you would be able to solve it. A very good sum, guys. Please mark it as important for your reference. So a ball drops from a height of 102. So there was a height, let's say there is a building whose height is 4802. And there is a ball which drops from here. Thereafter, it bounces every time to a height which is 14.28 percentage less than its previous height. So what is 14.28 percentage in terms of fraction? It is 1 by 7. So the ball bounces to a height which is 1 by 7 less than the previous height. So how how much did the ball bounce? If it is 1 by 7 less than the previous height, than the previous height, then the ball would have bounced for the remaining how much? 1 minus 1 by 7, which is 6 by 7. Why I am taking minus 1 by 7? Because this 1 by 7 is less than the previous height. So the ball is bouncing to 6 by 7 of its previous height. Of its previous height. What height will the ball reach if it bounces to, if it, what height will the ball reach on its fourth? So on its first bounce, the ball will reach the height of 4802 was its previous height, and it is bouncing to 6 by 7 of its previous height. It is 4802 into 6 by 7. On the second bounce, it will be 6 by 7 of its previous height. His previous height is 4802 into 6 by 7, and of that 6 by 7 is your second bounce. Third bounce, it will be previous height into 6 by 7, which is 4802 into 6 by 7 into 6 by 7 into 6 by 7. So for the fourth bounce, it will be its previous height is 4802 into 6 by 7 into 6 by 7 and into 6 by 7, and it is bouncing to 6 by 7 of its previous height. I hope this is clear. So you have to just solve it. You will get 749, 7 4 is 7 raised to 4 is 2401. So this will go 2 times. And 6 36, 36 square is 122, I guess. This is 36, 18, 19, 20, 21. And this will be your 18, 9, and 10. So 6, 9, 129. And 1296 into 2 will give you 12, 18, 19, 4, 5, 2, 5, 9, 2. The final answer is 2592 meters. So after fourth bounce, the ball will reach the height of 2592 meters. A very good question, guys. Please mark it as important for your reference. If you didn't understood this sum, then I request you to please pause the video, try this sum again, and then move ahead. So now we will understand another concept, which is the concept of change of base. So we will understand using the following example. Okay. So if B's income is 100 and A's income is 120, then the income of B is 20 less than A's income. Here, let's say B's income is 100 and A's income is 120. So we have already discussed this part, that B's income is now 20 less than A's income. So if we want to express this in terms of fractions, it will be 20 of what? 20 of A is 1 by 6. So here the base, which has changed to A, because we are considering that B's income is how much less than A. So less than A, so A will be your base, which is 120, and how much it is less? It is 20 less than. So there is a decrease of 1 by 6. So 1 by 6 decrease, or you can say 16.66 percentage decrease. So I hope this concept is also clear. A similar sort of thing which we have discussed in the previous concepts also. Another important concept comes for the multiplying factor. And this is also one of the similar sort of thing which we have already discussed while solving some examples and also while understanding some concepts. Okay. So let's say, consider the same example which is there on the screen. Let's say you have an initial 40 rupees and this value is increasing by 20%. What does this mean? That there was initial 40 rupees and now there is an increase of 20% on this 40 rupees. So 20% on this 40 rupees, correct? I will reiterate. Initially, you have 40 rupees. Now this value is increasing by 20%. So this 20% is of what value? Is of 40. So 20% of 40 is what? It is 8. So what will be your final value? It's your initial value plus increase. So what was your initial value? It was 40 plus increase is 8. So the final value will be 48. Now, rather than doing all this formulaic way, what easily you can do, that you know that your value is increasing by 20%. So what you will do, you will take the multiplying factor as 1 plus 20 by 100, which is 1.2. And you will multiply your initial value with your multiplying factor, which is 40 into 1.2 will give you 48. So that's all you can do to save your time. Whatever there is an increase, just take one, put this 20 percentage in its form, and then you will get the values 1 by 1. Now let's say if this value is decreasing by 20 percentage, then how you will write? So if there is an increase, you write a plus. If there is a decrease, you will write a minus. So it is 1 minus 20 by 100 is going to give you 80 by 100 or zero point 0.8. So how you will get your final value? How you will get your final value? It is nothing but your initial value into multiplying factor. Initial value was 40, multiplying factor is 0.8, which is going to give you 32. I hope this part is also clear, guys. So if there is an increase, you will write 1 plus x by 100, which we have already discussed. If there is a decrease, you will write 1 minus x by 100, which also we have discussed. So I hope you are pretty much clear about all the basic concepts what we have discussed. So with that understanding, we will now move towards some more examples. Okay, there is also one more slide for that, which is how you can express 5% where increase. So 5% increase, you will write it as 1 plus 5 by 100 is equals to 1.05. 10% increase, you will write it as 1 plus 10 by 100 equals to 1.1. 15% increase, you will write it as 1 plus 15 by 100 equals to 1.15. 20% you will write it as 1 plus 20 by 100 equals to 1.2. Similarly, 25, 1 plus 25 by 100 equals to 1.25. 30% as 1 plus 30 by 100 as 1.3. 40, 1.4. This is 1.5 and this is 1.6. Okay, so you just have to add the value after point. The first value after point 44, 30 P, 25.25, 20.2, 15.15. So that's all you have to do. Now, if you talk about decrease, 5% decrease will be 1 minus 5 by 100, which is 0.95. 10% will be 1 minus 10 by 100, which is 0.9. 15% will be 1 minus 15 by 100, which is 0.85. Similarly, 20% will be 1 minus 20 by 100 will be 0.8. 25 will be 1 minus 25 by 100 will be 0.75. Similarly, you will calculate for 30, which is 0.7, 40 is 0.6, 50 is 0.5, and 60 is 0. A simple sort of calculation which I know all of you would be able to do it. Okay. So we will now solve some sums which are related to multiplying factor and the change of base. Okay. So before starting it, please guys pause the video for 2 minutes, try the sum by yourself, and then come back to the solution. The salary of Virat is 20 more than that of Sachin. So how can I write it? That Virat's salary is 20 more than that of Sachin, which is 1.2. By what percentage is Sachin's salary less than that of Virat? So how can I write that? I will write this in terms of fraction. So S plus 1 by 5 of S, which is 6 by 5 of S. Now Sachin, if I have to represent Sachin in terms of Virat, I will represent it as 5 by 6 of S, 5 by 6 of V, sorry. So how much it is less? It is less than, so Sachin, what can I infer from that? That Sachin's salary is 5 by 6 is 83.33 percentage of Virat's salary. Correct? But we have to find how much it is less. It is less by 5 minus 6 by 6, which is 1 by 6, or 16.66 percentage less than Virat's salary. So I hope you understood this sum. We have applied all the concepts which we have discussed previously in this session. Nothing additional we are doing. That you have to consider this as your final value, this as your initial value. So 5 minus 6 by 6, which will be 1 by 6. And this is your 1 by 6 decrease, or 1 by 6 less. That is your answer. So I hope this sum is clear to you. If the price decrease by 20%, by what percentage can consumption increase without affecting the expenditure? Okay. So pay close attention to this, guys. This is a very good sum. So your expenditure is price into quantity. Now, how I am arriving to this formula? Let's say your price of a quantity is 10 rupees. Price of quantity, or let's say for better understanding, we will consider sugar. Let's say you go to purchase some sugar, and the shopkeeper tells you that the price of 1 kg sugar is 10 rupees, and you bought 5 kg of sugar. 5 kg of sugar. So what is your total money you have spent? Total money for 1 kg you are paying 10, but you have bought 5 kg. So you would have spent 5 into 10, which is 50 rupees. So this 50 rupees is your expenditure, correct? You have you have done your expenditure of 50 rupees. How you have done it? By purchasing sugar, which is 10 rupees in price, which is 10 rupees in price. And you have purchased quantity, how much? 5 kg. Your expenditure is nothing but your price into quantity, which I have wrote it over here. So I hope this formula is clear to you. I'll just make some space here, guys. So your expenditure equals to price into quantity. Okay. Now you understand one thing, that if my price decrease by 20%, and by what percentage my consumption can increase without affecting the expenditure. So my expenditure needs to be same, which I can write it as P into Q. And it is saying that my price is decreasing by 20%. So by 20% means 1 minus 20 by 100 equals to 80 by 100, or I can write it as 0.8, or I can simplify this in the form of 4 by 5. Okay. So my final price will be now 4 by 5 of P. Now you pay very close attention to here. If I want my expenditure to be same, okay, the expenditure formula is P into Q. But here I am getting 4 by 5 into some value of Q. Correct? I want my expenditure to be same. My expenditure is P into Q. So to get my expenditure same, here I am getting my P. There is a 4 by 5 in front of P, and there is also some value in front of Q. So what should be that value? So that my final answer should be P into. I repeat, what should be this value? So that my final answer should be P into Q. So this value should be 5 by 4. Why? Because it will cancel out with this 5 and it will cancel out with this 4. So it will eventually will give me P into Q. So my Q, you see the coefficient of Q is 5 by 4. So what can I say about this 5 by 4? That this is 5 minus 4 by 4, which is 1 by 4. Hence my quantity increased by 1 by 4 or 25%. Yeah, the same thing which we have discussed, that you will for 5 by 4, how you will convert this into the percentage increase, that this will be your final value, this will be your initial value. So 5 minus 4 by 4, which is 1 by 4, and this 1 by 4 is nothing but 25 percentage. So our quantity increased by 25 percentage. Next up, as the price of orange decreased by 25 percentage, so the price is decreasing by 20 percentage. I can purchase 6 more oranges for rupees 120. That means you are spending 120 only, initially also and final also. So your expenditure remains same. What is the original price of one orange? You have to find out. A similar sort of sum, what we have discussed previously also. So you know your expenditure is price into quantity. Your price of the orange decreased by 20%, which means 1 minus 20 by 100, which is 80 by 100, or you can write it as 4 by 5 of P. The expenditure equals to 4 by 5 of P, and your expenditure is nothing but 120. We have seen over here, which is 120. Okay. Now to get this answer 120, 120 is how much P into. You have to multiply Q with some value so that you will get the same answer, that is P into Q. I repeat, you have to multiply Q with a particular value so that you will get the same answer, that is P into Q. So you will multiply it with 5 into 4. So your quantity increased by how much? It increased by 5 minus 4 by 4, which is 1 by 4. Correct? Your quantity increased by 1 by 4. And with this quantity increase, there is also a statement given in the question that you can purchase 6 more oranges. So this 1 by 4 is nothing but your quantity increase or more oranges you purchased. You purchased. Correct? I repeat, this quantity increase is nothing but your number of oranges more you are purchasing. Number of oranges more you are purchasing. Correct? So how much more oranges you are purchasing? 1 by 4 of initial quantity. Of initial quantity, as a quantity is increasing by 1 by 4, which is nothing but of initial quantity. And how much more oranges you are purchasing? You are purchasing 6 orange. So your initial quantity of orange will be how much? 6 into 4. You bring this 4 this side, it will be 24. So initially you would have got 24, and finally you have to what you have to find, what is the original price of one orange. Okay, how much you have spent? Your expenditure was 120. So what will be your price of one orange? Will be 120 by 24, which is 5 rupees. I hope this sum is also clear. A similar sort of sum, but a slight twist in there, which is from this part. Okay. Now another important concept, which is successive percentage change. So you just look over at the screen, that when we talk about two successive percentage change, means there is a percentage increase of X percentage also and a percentage increase of Y percentage also. Then how can you express that? So you will write it as, whenever there is an increase of X percentage, you write as 1 plus X by 100, correct? And a Y percentage, you will write it as 1 plus Y by 100. As these two are successively increasing, so you will multiply these two values. and then you will solve it to get this as your answer: 1 plus x by 100 plus y by 100 plus xy by 10,000. Now you just simplify it. You will get 1 plus x by x plus y plus xy by 100 is your final value. So from this you can say that whenever there are successive percentage changes of a percentage and b percentage, the effective change, you can say the net change, is a plus b plus ab by 100. If you want to understand with the help of a formula, consider there is a rectangle. Okay, consider there is a rectangle. The initial length of the rectangle is 10 and the breadth is 5. Okay, this is my initial, and I am telling that my length is increasing by 10 percentage and my breadth is increasing by 20 percentage. Okay, length is increasing by 10 percentage and breadth is increasing by 20 percentage. So consider this as A, consider this as B. So what will be a successive percentage change, or what will be a effective change whenever we talk about two percentages which are changing successively? So we will use the formula A plus B plus AB by 100, which is 10 plus 20 plus 10 into 20 by 100. So this will be 30 plus this will go by this and 2. So this is 32 percentage of effective change. Okay. So you have to find the increase in area. Area is L into B. Initial area is 10 into 5, which is 50. So after that, what will be your new area? After successive percentage changes, it will be a effective percentage change of 32 percentage increase. So it is 50 into 1.32. That's all you have to solve. Otherwise, what you have done, you would have taken 50, you would have solved it for 1 plus 10 by 100 and then 1 plus 20 by 100, which would have made this a tedious job. So it is better to use this formula and get towards your answer in a much more faster and a easier manner. To use the effective change whenever there is a percentage change of two values successively, or even of one value successively. Okay, I hope this sum is also clear. So, so we will now see some more examples on this. The number of seats in a theater is increased by 25%. The number of seats in a theater increased by 25%, and the price per ticket is also increasing by 10%. So tickets, sorry, seats increased by how much? 25%. And price increased by how much? 10%. What is the effect of the revenue? So consider again successive percentage: A plus B plus AB by 100, which is 25 plus 10 plus 25 into 10 by 100. So this is 35. This will go 4 times, and this is 2.5. That is 37.5 percentage increase. So the overall revenue will be 37.5 percentage increase. So you can write as that the overall change in revenue is 37.5 percentage increase. I hope this is clear. This you have to use the formula and get towards the answer. Next up, a similar sort of sum what we have discussed in the previous example, or the previous to previous slide. The breadth of the rectangle, so there is a rectangle, the breadth is increasing by 10 percentage. What is the percentage decrease in its length to have the same area? Okay, so here we will use the same formula: x plus, sorry, a plus b plus ab by 100. Okay, so they are telling that what will be the percentage decrease in the length. so that you should have the same area. That means the effective change, the effective change is zero. As the area is same, there is no percentage increase and there is no percentage decrease. Hence, my area needs to be same. So my effective change is zero. And if I consider my uh, A as 10% and I have to find B, which is a decrease. So hence B will get subtracted. So 10 minus B minus 10B by 100 equals to 0. Correct? They are telling a percentage decrease in length. That means there is a negative B. Decrease in the sense negative. So 10 minus B equals to 10B by 100. You will just cancel it out. You will get 100 minus 10B is equals to B. So 100 is equals to 11B and B is equals to 100 by 11, which is 1 by 11 we know is 9.09, which is 9.09 percentage. So length, the length will decrease by 9.09 percentage. So this A is your breadth, just to make things clear, and this B is your length. Okay. So the length will decrease by 9.09 percentage. So I hope this sum is also clear. We have used the same formula to arrive to our answer. Next sum. I hope this sum is clear. If it is not, guys, then I request you to please pause the video, start this part again, and then move ahead with the next set of questions. If the size of the square is increased by 15%, then what will be the percentage increase in the area? So whenever you consider a square, the size is same across the all the four sides same. If there is a 15% increase here, there is a 15% increase here also. Why I'm considering 2% increase? Because in my formula we have a plus b plus ab by 100. So we have to talk about successive percentage change. Means I need two value, and whenever there is a square, the sides are same. So if there is a percentage increase in one side, there is a percentage increase in the other side also, which is 15 plus 15 15 into 15 by 100, which is 30 plus 2.25. So 32.25 is my effective percentage increase. So the percentage increase in area will be 32.25 percentage increase in area. Okay. Please understand this, guys. Don't take just as 15% because we are talking about area. Okay. We are talking about area and area is side square. So it will be nothing but if there is a percentage increase in one side, there is a percentage increase in the other side also. Hence, we will use 2 times 15 to arrive to our answer. Next one. What quantity of water must be added to a 18-liter solution of 50% milk to make it 25%? Okay. So there is an 18-liter solution and there is in that there is milk and there is water of 50% milk. Now if there is 50% milk, then the remaining is 50% water. Correct? If there is 50% milk, then the remaining is 50% water. If you have to bring in terms of ratio, you will write 1 is to 1. Correct? Means there is 9 liters of milk and 9 liters of water. And the question is telling what quantity of water must be added. So you will add some quantity of water so that the solution becomes 25% milk and 75% water. Right? Initially it was 9 liters, 50 percentage. You are going to add some liters of water to make it 25% milk and 75% water. Are you going to add or before solving this, we will convert this into the ratio form. 25 by 70 is 5 is 1 by 3. So this is 1 is to 3. So are you adding any milk in here? You are not adding any milk, correct? So your value should be same. That is 9 liters of milk will be there. As you are only adding water, you are not adding any milk here. So the quantity of milk in the final solution will be same. I repeat, as you are only adding water over here, you are not adding any milk. So the quantity of milk in the final solution will remain same what was there in the initial solution, which is nothing but 9 liters. Now we know that the ratio of milk to water in the final solution is 1 is to 3. 25 percentage of milk and 75 percentage of water is 1 is to 3. And I know that the quantity of milk is 9 liters. So can't I now find my quantity of water? I can find, correct? So water is now 27 liters. And this 27 liter is my final quantity in the solution. So I have 27 liters of water in the final solution. But what we have to find? We have to find the quantity of water that must be added. So initial quantity was how much? Initial quantity of water was how much? 9 liters. And what is my final quantity? Is my 27 liters. So how much I have added? I have added 27 minus 9, which is 18 liters. So this X value is nothing but 18 liters. So 9 plus 18 will going to give me 27. I hope this is also clear. A very good sum, guys. Mark it important for your reference. 18. A watermelon contains 85% water. Now this is also very important sum, guys. Please pay close attention for this. Okay. So watermelon contains 85% water. 60% of water got evaporated from the watermelon, and now it contains 60% of the water. Okay. So you consider here. So there is a watermelon, and we have to find the original weight of the watermelon. So let the original weight be x. Okay. And in that there is water and there is some pulp. In the watermelon there will be water and pulp. The water is 85 percentage. So the pulp will be remaining 15 percentage. After that, what happened? That 60 gram of water got evaporated. So minus 60 gram of water got evaporated, and now it contains only 60 percentage water. What was the original weight of the watermelon? We have to find. So this watermelon, after evaporating 60 grams of water, contains only 60 percentage of the water. So the remaining pulp content will be 40 percentage. Okay, so this is what the question is telling. Now, please pay close attention over here. Am I removing or due to evaporation, any quantity of pulp is getting evaporated? Just a second. Is pulp getting evaporated due to any chance? No. Pulp remain as it is. Correct? Pulp remain as it is. Pulp is not getting evaporated, only water is getting evaporated. So this value should be same. Should be same. This value and this value should be same. But we see that this value is different over here. In this case, it is 15 percentage. In this case, it is 40 percentage. So how to make it same? We will see it. So before considering it, what I want you to do, that you consider this as 85, this as 15. You remove 60 grams. Okay. And the final is 60 and 40. Now your initial task is to make this values same. Okay. How you will do it? You will take their LCM. So the LCM of 40 and 50 is nothing but 120. So you will multiply it by 3 and you will multiply this value by 8. So you will get, I will write it over here. So you will get this is 120 and 85 into 8 will be 40, 680. 680 and this is 120, and this is 60 into 3 is 180. Okay, so this 680 and 120 is your original weight. Okay, and this is your final weight. Okay, but there is a catch over here. We know that to get the final weight, there is a reduction of 60 grams. Okay, to get towards your final weight, there is a reduction of 60 grams. But how much it is getting reduced here? 680 minus 180 is nothing but 500. But the actual value is 60 grams. But from this number which we have arrived, we see that there is a reduction of 500 grams. So with what value should I multiply 500 so that I should get 60? I repeat, with what value should I multiply 500 so that I should get 60? I will multiply it with 0.12. I will repeat this part again for your better understanding. That when you are taking the LCM same, you are getting the value as 680 and 120, which is your original weight. Okay, as the quantity of pulp needs to remain same, only the quantity of water is decreasing. So here we have seen that initially it was 680 and finally it is 180. So there is a net reduction of 500. But in the question, they have already mentioned that the water is getting evaporated and I am losing 60 grams of water in the water. I am losing 60 grams of water. But in this case, I am losing 500 grams. So I have to multiply this 500 by a particular value so that I could get 60 grams. I have to multiply this 500 by a particular value so that I could get 60 grams, and that particular value is 0.12. So if I am multiplying this 500 by 0.12, I have to multiply my original weight also with 0.12 to get towards my answer. So from the numbers, my original weight which I was getting is how much? 680 plus 120, 680 plus 120, which is 800. And this 800 I will multiply with 0.12 to get my final weight as 96 grams. Hence, my original weight of watermelon was 96 grams. I hope you understood how to solve this sum. If you are multiplying a particular value by a particular multiplication factor, then you have to multiply each and every value which is related to that by that number also to arrive to your final answer. So here you are getting your original weight as 800, but as your multiplication factor was 0.12, you will multiply that 800 into 0.12 to arrive to your final answer, which is 96 grams. So with that, guys, we'll like to end the session. Thank you so much for attending.